why did Melissa throw the cheese?
You just stuck up for your ex-husband when we were defending you. Yes. What the is wrong with you? Yeah.
I wanted a piece of cheese too. It got thrown away.
Oh my God! Right? Exactly right. Exactly. And I'm just sitting there. And next thing you know, cheese is on me.
Wait a second. I have something to say about that. Wait till Teresa still doesn't know that happened. Even though she was sitting there, it takes her a long time to process something. And that's going to piss her off when she sees it. I got news for you. I don't want to be Melissa the day that airs.
What, about the cheese?
Yeah, like, I think that you were in a different place in your head right there. But
Yeah,
then,
because, I didn't even know that was happening. Like, the cheese thrown, my brother bagging the frick on the table. I was like, our family's not like that.
No, I don't like it. Oh, my God.
repeats that.
It's not true. No, you bitch.
That's why I didn't even react, because I was just like, this is so disgusting. It is. Like, who acts like that?
Evan makes the point that it's always the meals that bring out the worst in the ladies.
It's actually meals bring out the worst in them, if you think about it.
I gotta be honest, I do agree about the meals.
When they sit down, it's kind of like they see the knife and the fork, and they immediately see weapons, and it puts them in a combative mood.
You know, every single time we go someplace where we're together with everyone, I say to Dolores, do me a favor, let me just please finish eating first, okay? Because when we're eating,
we gotta eat.
Dude, but it always seems to happen when we're eating, man.
I don't want to be your friend.
I don't want to be yours either, really, to be honest with you.
What? Hello? Oh, swear to God. You got the wrong girl.
And we're paying expensive dinners too, so we got to pay the money,
right?
And we can't finish it. Men, we like to eat.
Absolutely.
And we can't. We're trying to eat as they're all arguing, shove it down our throat. You know, it's not healthy. It's not healthy for me.
Yeah, we've noticed that. That's why from now on, Bill, we should just get like boxed lunches and just eat quickly.
It might be their way to stay skinny, right?
Yeah.
It's their way to stay skinny. This
They're
way,
maybe they're
you only
hangry.
half of the meal, and you don't want to finish a full meal. Let me just pick a fight with you so I can save my calories.
You know, it's a shame. As I'm trying to stuff my face as usual, all right, because I know it's only a matter of time before we're leaving.
Come on, Frank, let's go.
Yeah. Seriously.
We see Teresa makes good with Jackie.
I'm not trying to hurt you in any way, you or your family. So just, can we just drop everything?
Were you ready to receive what she had to say?
I mean, clearly, because I forgave her in like 2 seconds.
I would like that. Okay.
I just want it to all be done.
Sometimes when you forgive someone, it's actually for yourself. You know what I mean? And
yes, it was for me. It was for us. I know that Teresa's not my friend. And I just wanted this toxicity out of my life. And I knew that if I did not forgive her in that moment, that I was just holding on to something that I did not care about. I don't value our friendship. You listen, if it was a close friend who had done something awful to me, I don't know that the apology I received would have been enough. But this is not a close friend we're talking about. I just wanted this to end.
I think it just finally got to the point where she saw Jackie crying with her own eyes the night before.
I'm like, this is crazy, because I saw how she was like crying hysterical. I mean, Jackie like lost it. Like, she was like a mess.
Is this who you want to be? Is this what you want to do? Do you want to ruin this woman's life? What are you? You're a strong single mom right now, right? Why would you want to bring down another family or hurt another family? This is hurting them, even if you don't mean for it to. And she said no. And I said, then do the right thing. And she did.
What I was thinking about was my dad. Like, we were there for his celebration party. So, like, the next day, like, yeah, right away, I knew Evan was coming, and that's how I am.
Before Evan gets there, Teresa wants you to be the one to relay her message to Evan.
And hopefully you could tell him, because I just feel weird kind of talking to your husband.
I felt like you had done something so wrong to my husband, and everybody always gives you a pass. I'm not giving you a pass on this one. If we're going to really be able to be together in a room and I'm gonna ever not hate you, you have to give my husband the respect of telling him yourself. And I was not giving her a pass on that.
I was kind of worried that day, because I'm like, listen, is Evan gonna feel bad? He's gonna be aggravated. Am I gonna have to protect my sister?
I don't know that you would have had to have an argument with Evan over that. Like, Evan's calm, cool, and collected.
We're used to men not being so soft. You know, Joe was rough around the edges. He was.
I had a lot of money before I married you.
You're just like your dad.
Don't bring my fucking dad up. I'll smack your head up against the wall. So shut up.
You don't know what kind of reaction you're going to get from a man, right? Now, you know Evan is a mild-mannered, nice, calmer man, right? You don't know, like even our own fathers yelled all the time. Like, I wasn't in favor of when all this was going on, her calling Evan, because I didn't know how Evan was going to react to her. But he was a gentleman.
Yeah, he was a total gentleman. Joe and I were standing next to Teresa, and Evan walks in. I had to laugh because Teresa did say something very cute. She goes, yikes. First of all, she goes, yikes to me. And she goes, which I thought was so funny, because I think she was like nervous. And then she goes to me, he's so cute. And I was like, she's very mesmerized by handsome men. She goes, yikes, he's so cute. And I just thought that was so funny. I was like, all right, you could do this. You could do this.
Oh.
And she said she was sorry.
Sorry about, everything that went down. And I would never want to do anything to hurt you guys in any way.
And I'm actually proud of her that she did.
My whole motto is bad things happen. And obviously this was an uncomfortable, bad thing that I didn't want in my life. But Teresa brought it up. But, at that day when she apologized, I was like, let's just move on. I think that's kind of the mature thing to do and the right thing to do.
And he was a gentleman. He was, and I'm glad it was. I'm glad he was. Yeah, and I've always liked Evan. I have, and and now I like him even more because just how everything ended up. I don't know how I don't know if I like his wife as much as I like Evan. So, am I saying this right? Yeah, I don't know if I like Jackie as much as I like Evan.
You're right.
But I do like Evan.
There's been a lot of tension bubbling up between you and Margaret, Jen.
Don't ever get in between myself and my husband. The way you behave in front of your husband, you embarrass your entire family.
I'm so drunk. I can't.
Bill, I'm serious. I'm worried. I think you were sloppy drunk.
I felt that Margaret was out of line the night before. And I don't think she really had a right to get that mad at me. And I don't think she had a right to get that mad at her husband, especially in front of everybody else. So I wanted to call her out on it, that she was being very critical and judgmental about me. And she wanted to be very critical about my drinking when I have explained how remorseful I had been for that night, how I had alcohol poisoning. I don't know what my tolerance is. I don't know why you're so bothered about my drinking. Maybe it brings you back to your mom and some trauma that you went down with. I don't know, and I don't care. It has nothing to do with me.
Jen, you could drink whatever you want.
Yeah, I'm gonna drink whenever I want, however I want.
You don't owe an explanation.
I want. Whenever I want.
Yeah, you don't owe an explanation.
I'm an
to
adult,
anyone.
21 and over. Thank you. Good night. She's always the first one to let me know when she thinks I do things that are embarrassing. Okay, embarrassing, police. So newsflash. You do a lot of embarrassing shit too.
You've told us sloppy moments that you've had. You slept with your boss.
I think that Jennifer throwing Margaret's abuse by her employer when she was young, throwing that in Margaret's face was disgusting.
The way that she told it the first time, it wasn't told in a manner that made me think something inappropriate went down. Honestly, the old me would have been like, all right, what an easy breezy slut. But the new me was like, hey, you know what? Two consensual adults that happen to be boss and employee may be attracted to each other.
I do think that Jennifer she doesn't think before she speaks a lot of the time. And obviously that was something that Margaret really suffered with. And to get into a little stupid argument and throw that when you were actually sexually abused in any which way is just, it's crazy to even think that would be okay to say something like that.
Jennifer always got to put her 2 cents into something, doesn't she?
Jennifer likes to speak her mind. She likes to speak her mind, to say the least.
I think she likes to start crap just for the sake of starting it. And she does.
And then you know what's great about Margaret? Margaret just eats her up. Just chews her up and spits her right out.
You know why you never fight with your husband? Because he's your meal ticket for your whole family.
Use him as a meal ticket? I gave him 5 children. If I'm not fucking entitled to what I have supported him for all these years, then that's a crime. I paid my
Jen,
dues.
you don't have to justify anything.
And that's not a nice thing to say. And by the way, I would never normally just come out and say that, but don't, you threw a bomb at me. And I said, well, of course, who's going to fight with their meal ticket? Am I wrong?
No, I don't fight with meal tickets. You pay in my way, I'll shut up.
Listen, you have a sugar daddy, you fucking give sugar. I'm not happy I said that to her. It got me in a bad moment. I didn't have to hit so low. It was a little low.
Do you feel like Margaret is a little tough on Jen?
I think she is. I work hard to provide for my wife. We have 5 little kids, to each their own.
But I figured out why she's mad, Tree. I figured it out.
What?
Because she's her family's meal ticket. And I guess like that irritates her. So now that she sees like that, it's like, oh, she probably looks at my husband. It's like, oh, look, it's her mother and this and that. My husband doesn't support my family. It's not like that at all, Margaret. Maybe it's like that in your life and you're projecting what you're going through in your life on me. But my husband's not my meal ticket like you are for your family.
Well, Margaret, I know Jackie does get very upset, and then she's, upset with you. She's upset with Joe.
Your husband's an asshole. Who? My husband's an asshole? Why would he? Because he is a. You hurt Jackie. Now tell him. No, why would you do that? Why would you give life to this?
But I also said to Joe B, who I'm very close with and who Evan's very close with, like, how dare you? Like, don't talk to me anymore.
You know that I want nothing to do with you now. You know what? That's ridiculous.
I was so disappointed in him gossiping about my husband. And I think Margaret got upset. She yelled at me, and I didn't understand why Margaret was yelling at me.
Jackie doesn't understand what happened. She doesn't understand why Joe was even talking about it with the guys. And I was like, I know you're kidding me, right? Of course they're fucking talking about it.
But hold on one second. I just want to make sure that I'm on the right page. What exactly is the rumor? I heard, okay, it was on Faithful, but was it with one girl, 2 girls?
What do you think, my husband just brought it up? So then I got upset with Jackie. I was like, what are you talking about? You don't even understand. I go, I would never. She was saying she's never going to talk to Joe again. I was like, what?
Good, don't. I'd be like, then don't. You moan too much anyway.
I was...
Sorry.
Ooh, Dolores. But I was so upset. I was like, well, I defend you to the court. What are you talking about?
Margaret, who was always like the closest person to me, was suddenly turning on me. And at that moment, I said, you know what, like, I just got to get out of here. And I think I ran into the kitchen and I was just crying and I heard them talking about me still. And I was questioning a lot at that moment. I didn't know what was going on. I didn't understand.
I was like, oh, it was ugly.
Well,
but then
you know
she
what,
realized.
at the moment, though, and Jackie, to say that Jackie being so upset, it was just a lot for her. It was a lot.
Yeah. And at that moment was probably, since joining the show, the worst that I've ever felt on the show. I felt like I didn't have any friends. I've never in my life had relationships like this where people are talking about me and I'm calling them my friends, but yet they're talking about me in private. And I didn't really understand what was going on.
You were frazzled. You were completely frazzled. She just broke down in a way that I was like, I felt horrible. I really did. I wanted you to go home. I was like, just go home. Like I wanted her to like go relax herself because I was like nervous for her.
It was an emotional time.
She didn't realize what was going on, but I got very upset with her because I was like, you got this story all wrong.
Right.
I have your back to the end, and so does my husband. But my husband was so calm about it. He was like, Jackie, so sweet and nurturing to her.
I think that Jackie's a great girl. I love her. She's great. And she's a good friend. She's great friends with Margaret. I'm good friends with Evan. And I don't want anything to come between, like, our families and our friendship. So any miscommunications or ideas that she had that were really from another planet, you had to talk it out.
He didn't want to hurt her. He didn't want to
hurt her, and I didn't want to hurt her, and he was so sweet about it. But, while we're all doing this and crying and hysterical and, other stuff was heating up outside with Joe Gorga and Teresa and Melissa, it was ugly. It was just a real crazy, crazy night.
Joe Gorgas says you're never to leave his home without having sex.
Have you had sex in my house?
No, I didn't have sex in the house last night, but last night was a little crazy. Maybe
You
tonight.
better. Don't you ever leave my home without. You understand? This is a happy home.
I mean, if it were up to Joe, everyone would be having sex everywhere.
1,000%. And
There you go. Oh my God, seriously.
everyone in my home, if you're in my home, you gotta have sex. You gotta release that poison because then you're happy.
There you go. Hey.
It's a happy place.
It's just, it's like he mixes sex with happiness.
If you didn't give your wife sex or your husband sex or your partner sex, they're not in a good mood. They're not happy people. People are happy when they have sex and they make love. So, and that's what Joe Gorgas is all about. I'm a happy guy. Look at me, smiling from ear to ear, because life is all about making love and sex and releasing that poison.
Like, it's the house. You bring bread when you go, and then you have sex too.
Exactly.
Whatever. We all know Joe at this point, and he just has no shame in talking about sex or how much he would like to have sex. So, I think everybody's used to it by now.
Jackie, did you and Evan have sex at the Shore House?
We did.
What?
We did.
She followed the rules of the Gorga household.
I cannot disappoint Joe Gorga. So I had to do my duty.
Did you make sure he didn't have any cameras in those bedrooms?
At that point, I didn't care. I wouldn't have been surprised if there were, Bill. I didn't care.
He had such a good day. I mean, this guy from for the night before where I was hysterical crying, telling him not to come down, all he knows is that he got there, immediately received an apology, shots of tequila, and then went on a boat.
He was like, what's wrong down here? It's great.
I was like, well, he's just having the best fucking day of his life. I might as well just finish it off, right?
Right.
And if I would have known this about his house, I'd be visiting a lot more often. All right.